Hey guys, so tonight I want to talk to you about somebody that was very important to me, played a huge role in my life growing up. His name was Tom, and he ended up being my caregiver, and he came about 2001. Um, and he would do the typical things, getting me ready for the day. um, Back then I had a trach, and I had a feeding tube, and my health was pretty high at risk at that time. I had had a lot of um, I had bad sleep apnea as well. So at any point during the night as I was sleeping, I could, stop breathing, which unfortunately it that did happen a couple of times or so. So, he would work the night shift, which means he'd be, while my parents were asleep, he would be up all night, and he would have to come in my room and check on me to make sure I was, breathing and alive. And then, if I made it through the night, then he would, basically help me get ready for school. Which, he would help me in the tub, in the bathtub, getting me, helping me wash my hair, stuff like that. And then he would help me get dressed, and things like that. Um, and he was definitely, on the outside. He looked really intimidating. He was a pretty scary looking guy if you didn't know him. Just the look of him was kind of, you'd be kind of a little bit intimidated by him. But on the inside, he just had the absolute biggest heart. And when he wasn't doing caregiving, because he took care of me, and then he had another um, client that he took care of that was actually older than me. Um, and when he wasn't taking care of either one of us, he was a volunteer firefighter. Um, and I don't really know the details too much of what he did with that, but I think he would go over. From what I understand, I think he would actually go over to like Eastern Washington, and he would like help with the wildfires and stuff like that. And if I understand it correctly, I believe that that's what he would do, and he would do a lot of other stuff like woodworking. He loved to do, uh, woodworking, and you know, in fact, and he knew that I loved dogs, so he actually would made me. I'm gonna show you. I'm actually gonna. He made me this picture here, and um, it's just something that I always really love, and I cherish it. It's usually hung up on my wall, and I still, keep it to this day. And um, it just, something uh, to, just kind of um, remember, remember him. And he not only was he a caregiver, he actually became like a family friend, like a just really a good family friend. Him and I, we shared some of the some of the same interests. I loved video games, and I never forget the day that he had said that he liked video games too, and he actually. owned a PS2 as well, and I think that was like, we pretty much hit it off right off the bat. Uh, once we both realized that we both had PS2s, and he would come over and he would, at night before I went to bed, he would uh, bring like an extra, PlayStation controller, and him and we would play games, and you have to understand, back then I had like no friends. I mean, the only people that I considered friends were grown adults, nurses, doctors, um, fire department, police. I mean, those kinds of things. Because, I couldn't go outside to play. I couldn't, ride a bike. I couldn't, play, catch, or I couldn't really go anywhere because, physically it just wasn't possible. And I had to, at that time, I had to really be just kind of isolated inside because of, uh, health issues that I had. And so I think that that was one of the things that really meant a lot to me is that he would he would go above and beyond. He would take the time to really kind of play games, video games with me, and then also we both ended up liking garage sales, and I remember a few times he lived out in Yelm, and so he would come over and he would pick me up, and we would go in his little white little compact car. I don't remember what kind of car it was. It but it was, oh man. Sometimes it would break down. Sometimes it wouldn't. I mean, you never knew what that car would do. But it made it from plan A to plan B. That's what he had, and that's what how it was. And so we would go all the way into Yelm, and we would go garage selling different areas of Yelm, and I think that that was just really cool that he did that. And I remember this one of the times we were like at his house, and then we left to the garage sale, and I think like a few blocks down or so, I guess he had purchased a lawnmower, a new lawnmower from somebody, and he didn't have he just had that little white car, so I don't think he had a truck too, but I don't think he was working at the time, but yeah, he took the lawnmower, he put it on top of the car, and he would, he tied it on top of the car. I just thought he was nuts for doing that. And I remember, he tied it, and then he got in, and I said, is this legal? And he says, probably not. I have no idea. And of course, I said, oh God, because it was just a little, car. We didn't know, but we made it all the way back to his house, and it was good. And yeah, so I think that was a pretty fun moment. I'll always remember those times. And I also was in Boy Scouts, and I remember there was a camp that they had going on. It was like a camp over the weekend, and at that time I wasn't. I mean, I would have loved to go, but I wasn't going to because obviously, at that time, somebody needed to be with me at pretty much at all hours of the day and at night, and it just wasn't really possible. But he actually he volunteered to come to take me to that camp, and I got to stay the whole weekend at that camp, and I got to just experience. I got to be one of the Boy Scouts, and of course he would come in the morning, into my into the cabin where we stayed at, and he would help me, get ready for the day and stuff. But yeah, I mean, he spent the whole weekend at that camp with me, and made sure that I had a good experience, had the best experience that I could, and yeah, I'll always be grateful for that. He did a lot of stuff for me. He really did. He just he really he got me out there in the world. He got me, he taught me stuff, and he showed me stuff, and um, we just really he became a really good friend, and just a huge part of my life. I did have two caregivers at that time. That was, Tom, and then of course another one, Diane. Um, but she was the same way. Um, very important person in my life. But yeah, Tom was just a really good guy to, hang out with and do guy stuff with. As my dad, he was he was gone so much. He was gone walking a lot. And when he wasn't walking, he was sleeping, so that he could go back to work. And so I really didn't see a whole lot of my dad growing up, because uh, he was at work, and then I was at school, and then if I wasn't at school, I was having some kind of surgery, or some kind of, um, some kind of medical thing going on. But not to say that my dad was, I mean, he was a good guy as well. He provided. He did what the best that he could, But him and I, we had definitely had our issues, but we didn't really have much in common, or we didn't really, get along all that well. But yeah, Tom and I, we definitely. He definitely showed me a lot, and like I said, he taught me a lot, and um, later on, I I had found out when I got a little older. I found out that he had diabetes, which I didn't, I didn't really understand what exactly that was, other than I think the way I understood it was that, yeah, I got diabetes, but if I eat right and all that, then I just gotta check my blood sugar and all that, and it's fine. So I didn't really worry about it. I didn't really think about it, because I'm still young, and I just it was what it was. Um, he Unfortunately, he didn't really you know take all that good care of himself. To be honest, I mean, he he was a smoker, and he liked to drink, and he liked to kind of do what he wanted to do, and which we're all like that. But unfortunately, as time went on, his health kind of went downhill a little more than usual, and one day he actually got he was just out walking at his house or whatever. And he had gotten a cut on his leg or something, and he just kind of ignored it, and he ended up, it got like infected or it got something went wrong with it. I guess when you're a diabetic though, and they say like, if you have like a cut or if you have something, it could be a big deal. But he didn't really. I don't think he really thought much of it. Um, anyway, he ended up having. It did have a very big consequence, a very big problem. He ended up having to, um, have that leg removed, um, which which was a huge deal. I remember, um, I I don't I think a lot of time went on. Uh, he I think I was like can't remember. I think it was like 18 or something like that at the time, or 17. Anyway, he had been gone for like a long time. I had not seen him in like a long time, and I can't even remember why. But he just like disappeared, and I always wondered why, but I didn't think anything of it. And I remember I was told that he got sick and he got this cut on his leg, and then they said that he had to uh, uh, have his leg removed, and I thought, wow, and I thought it was no big deal because he'll be all right. And he did get prosthetics, and he did do all right, and he was still able to drive, and but then unfortunately, um, he uh, he ended up something went wrong with his other leg, and then he ended up having to have that leg removed, and it was just it was just devastating. I mean, this guy was extremely strong, extremely um, just nothing ever stopped him. But I know that really just kind of he always had good humor. He always had good spirits about it all. But I know that it broke him. I mean, it really really devastated him. I mean, he couldn't be a nurse anymore. He couldn't drive anymore. I mean, he got pretty sick, and I remember talking to him on the phone, and I remember he made a joke, and he was like, "I, you're not kidding. You were not kidding when you said that it's all in your arms now, because that's what I had said. I said, well, yeah, it's all in your arms now. He just kind of all you have is those now, is your arms. So that it's all, and so um, that's what I mean. All of a sudden he had to learn this different lifestyle, and he had to adapt, and he had to which he did, and he knocked it out of the park really nice with that. But unfortunately, as time went on, his diabetes kind of took a toll, and he got more sick, and he he just yeah, he ended up. I remember I had been told that he was really sick again, and he was in the hospital off and on. He had been in and out of the hospital, and I think I went and saw him one of the times, um, but it was hard for me to get out there because I'm over here in Piranha, but he was in I think in Yelm at the time or something, and so I didn't really get to see him as much as I would have liked to and should have. But anyway, um, I think I think at the time I was like 22, somewhere around there. Or maybe I was even 21, somewhere around there. That was when I was really starting to drink a lot myself, and I was starting to kind of go down kind of a crazy path, and he he um, I remember they said he was really sick, and I said that I was gonna go see him. Well, the night before, I had gone out and I drank a lot, and ended up I ended up being sick myself because I drank too much. So I couldn't go and see him that following day, and um, it was shortly after that I had, been told that he had passed away. Um, and Yeah, I regret that. Out of everything, I regret that. I just wish I would have gone to see him one last time, but I didn't. I didn't get to, and that's something that I always think about that. I always regret that, and I just try to think about the times that we had and the fun times and the good times, because that's all you can really do when you lose somebody like that, when you lose somebody that you care about. Um, and yeah, no doubt about it. We definitely had issues. I mean, as really as a cool guy as he was, there definitely was some times. Well, he definitely had a temper, um, and he actually would cross the line more than you know. Uh, yeah, he definitely crossed the line with me as well. I mean, he would. If I, there were times in the morning where I would be, sleepy. It's like 6 in the morning. I'm tired, and he was the kind of guy that it's time you got to get up. It's time to go to school, and I there were some times where I would, he would help me into the tub, and then I end up, falling asleep in the tub, and yeah, he'd get pretty upset. I mean, he actually would kind of grab me by the hair sometimes, and he would, wake up, and yeah, he was strict. I mean, he was pretty intense. Um, I mean, to the point that if anybody else found out or witnessed that, I mean, that's the kind of thing that nowadays, you know, in that profession, nurses or anything like that would not be. I mean, they'd be filed and also maybe even charged. I mean, that's a big no-no nowadays, especially. But I think, you know, he knew that uh, life for me would be difficult and would be a struggle. And I think he was just trying to he would really try to toughen me up, right? Like a military type of way, just really toughen me up because, I was a sensitive kid, so I would cry about everything. If I wasn't crying, I was yelling. I mean, it just didn't take much at all for me to cry or to um, be scared or to be, just very kind of fragile and sensitive and just kind of a wimp. I mean, and I think he really tried to teach me that that's not gonna work in life, in the real world. That's not gonna work out very well, and you know, you when it's time to do, you need to do what you're supposed to do, and if you don't, there's issues, and I later in my life I realized I didn't even like realize that until I got older. Um, a lot older, and I kind of realized that it was kind of like a tough love thing. Did he cross the line? Absolutely. If his boss or if anybody was to witness it or find out, would he have been like fired like right off the bat? Probably. That's a big no-no when you're in the health profession, when you're in that profession, especially nowadays. But again, he was just trying to toughen me up, and he was just trying to teach me that, hey, it's really, the world is a very intense and very scary place, and it does not care if you don't like it, or if you'll cry about it, or if you do this, or if you do that. The world does not care. Um, and I really think that's what he was trying to teach me. And of course he did, because I'm 30 years old, I don't even cry. Even if somebody passes away or somebody, I'm hurting inside, of course, but I don't show it. I like very, very rarely will I cry ever anymore. I mean, I might, I think the most I'll do is tear up. I mean, something pretty drastic has to happen for me to actually, like full out cry. Um, and I kind of like that, because I can't wipe my eyes, I can't reach my face, so if I'm crying, I can't do anything about it. I can't cover my face, or I can't wipe my eyes or anything like that. So I think that I definitely, uh, in some ways, I kind of like that part. But I just wanted to share um, that with you, because Tom was just such a important guy, and he was just a really awesome, great guy. He cared about people. He helped a lot of people. Um, I mean, he was everything to a lot of people. I mean, God, he was a nurse, he was a firefighter, he was um, a Lions Club member, and out there in Yelm, he was a, Lions Club member, he was a woodworker, he was, I mean, man, he was a tough guy, but, he was, if you crossed him, he'd let you have it. He'd make you, piss your pants, but if he saw that you needed help, uh, he'd be right there. Um, I just wish that he cared more about himself, um, a little bit more about himself. Uh, but that's just who he was. He just, everybody else came first. Um, that's who he was to me. Ah, yeah, that's who he was to me, and that's you know how I'm going to remember him. Um, is that just who he was to me, and as well as a lot of other people. He definitely uh, deserves um, to, I don't know, have some sort of big credit, or big tribute to a big something, celebration, which he actually did have some kind of recognition. There's a parking lot out there in Yelm, where he uh, has went to Lions Club or somewhere. I can't exactly remember what place, but anyway, um, apparently the parking lot out there was, uh, kind of ripped up and kind of, not very good, and so he had always said that at some point he was gonna, he was gonna make a change. He was gonna fix that parking lot. make that happen. And well, he they ended up that parking lot was able to be renovated and or redone, and he was able to have in his name like a plaque in his name, and so it's out there and it's sitting there. Um, uh, his um, his wife sent me a picture of that, and I think that was just really cool. Um, he would have really gotten a kick out of what the world has become today. He really would have. Um, yeah, he really would have. I would have loved to hear what his thoughts were um, about just everything that has happened in the last within the last like 3 years. Um, I I always think about what he would think or what he would say. But I know that uh, I know that I meant a lot to him and he meant a lot to me, um, and that's what I'm gonna remember him by. But anyway, I'm done now. But I just wanted to share that with you. Um, Thank you for watching.